Okay, camera is on. I have my phone recording and I feel organized, so let's do this. Hey guys, it's Jess, and for this week's video, I thought I'd do part 2 of Vine editing. And yes, I know Vine ended, so we're just gonna call this Instagram editing because if you didn't know, everybody basically moved over there because Vine ended. I didn't really need an explanation. Anyways, so apps and things that I'm gonna be talking about in this video are gonna be based off the first video that I made about this, so part 1. If you haven't seen that, I was just watching that, but if you're already catched up, then continue watching. So in my last video, I talked about Video Star, iMovie, and Square Video. Now Square Video, it was for Vine because Vine didn't automatically crop your video. But since now we're moving to Instagram, you don't really need it. So I went back and I downloaded all these apps again because I don't really use them anymore. I'm not a phone editor anymore. I mostly edit on my computer, if you don't know. Basically, I downloaded them so I can show you guys examples of like how to use these apps because I know I didn't really explain it thoroughly. Basically, I didn't explain it all the way. So I thought this time I would go ahead and show you guys how exactly to put things together in case it gets confusing, because it does get confusing sometimes. So let's just get started. And by the way, Harry's joining us again. He's sleeping, the poor child. But yeah, anyways, let's get started. And by the way, when you're editing these, if you're just doing this just for like a birthday or like a family member, or you're just doing it just cause you want to do something for someone, or you want to post something of something or an event, then you shouldn't worry about this. But for the people that actually want to start editing and stuff, know that it does take a lot of storage. So I would suggest deleting a couple pictures, videos, apps you don't need, because it would really help you in the long run. Because I got to the point where I had to just delete half of my camera roll because I could not export an edit that I was done, and I was so proud of it, and I had to delete so much stuff. Anyways, so that's that. Let's say I want this part. So basically I'm just cutting the parts that I want. But you guys will obviously cut out whatever you guys want to do. I'm just kind of doing this on a rush just so I can show you guys examples. And if you want to get an audio that you found on Twitter or on Instagram, you would just have to copy the link. For Twitter, I know you had to copy the link of the tweet. And then for Instagram, you just have to click on the 3 dots and click copy URL, and that's what you would do, for example, for this audio. So yeah, so you can just have fun with this, and then so once you're happy with what you have, you will export it. And what I mean by happy about what you have, I mean clips wise, because once you start using Video Star, you're gonna be adding filters to certain clips, you're gonna add text to certain stuff. It's gonna get really complicated. So don't delete this yet because we're gonna come back to this. So now we're gonna go to Video Star. So basically this app helped me so much when I was editing on my phone for like the first half of my Vine account. So you're gonna edit video, okay, and then do this, the last one that we did, right? Yep, okay. And then make video. We're gonna go to new and then re-effect clip, and then you have all these boring stuff, right? So click on add. So one of the first things I would do is add little strobe lights for the places that needs it. Actually, I want a flicker. So there's strobe lights and then there's flicker. Flicker doesn't really, you don't really see it as much, which is kind of good in case you know. Did you hear that flicker in that audio? Hold on. Right there. Right there. Okay, so once you like it, you're gonna click re-effect. Okay, so you're gonna click done and save the camera roll. Now this process you're gonna be repeating a lot. Go back to iMovie. Okay, so that flicker is right here. Go to video and get the clip that you flickered, and then we're just gonna cut it to where we want. So you have to silence your clips. It's gonna take a lot of time to like level it out. Like I said, editing is not easy sometimes, so you're gonna struggle a bit.
Got these hoes going crazy, yeah. Young, hot, got buddies on my line going crazy, yeah.
That's basically how you add a section of your edit to Flickr. So basically you can choose whatever part of your edit to have a certain filter or flicker or blinking or however you want to call it. If you want to do more, you again click add edit video and then go to the original one, not the one that we flickered, and click free effect again. So the filters are over by the little paintbrush. A lot of the ones that I used were these because they focus on one color and you can choose the color that you want. Like for example right here, I would do it right there because it only focuses on their skin and it makes them pop out more in the edit. So that's one of the filters I would use, or this one, the one next to it, select color. You see that would make them pop more too. So if you go throughout it, you see how it's only on them. You see like here looks cool. So you can play with that, and then again you would do the same thing that we did with the flicker. Another one that I used was I was gonna say saturated sunburn, which is really cute for like a little summer edit. It makes them look real cool. And then cinema, oh I love cinema. I use this one a lot. I used a cream pink one. For those of you that have my Vine account, I used this one for that Zoe and Mark edit that I made a while ago. Mark, did I just say actually it's time? He tweeted it, or he favored it and retweeted it, and I was very happy that day. Anyway, so that's a little fun fact. Another one that's really popular is the retro ones, and these are like basically any colorings that you want to do, or filters I guess you can say. The one that I use a lot, was it this one or was it? It was this one that I use a lot. You can adjust how much you want. I usually do around the middle-ish. Depends on how dark or light you see. That looks nice. The ones that have like the little triangle next to the little filter means you basically have to pay for it, which no one wants to do that. So you would take advantage of these. This is the one I use a lot. This is Blacken. Basically makes I can't talk. Makes it look more intense, and I love it so freaking much. That one would have to be like number one on all of these. Gloom is really nice when you're making like a dreamy edit or a fan fiction edit, if you know what I mean. Other than these are pretty cool actually. You guys can play around with these. And then these are mostly used when you want to make like something, yeah, like that. This one I don't really use that well because it just looks weird, I feel. You can use it if you want. I don't really like using it. I just feel like it just looks weird. So the one that I really would use a lot was this one, the Vert Mirror. And basically what would you do with this? For example, if you wanted to be like a mirror of her, you would reflect it again. So I just exported that effect, that mirror effect. So I said I was gonna add it where Normani was at. By the way, I'm zooming out with my fingers and going out to make it more, to make each frame more exact, so you know when to cut it or not. So basically, I want to get the part where she pops out her hip and makes a really cool transition.
These hoes going crazy, yeah.
Oh, didn't silence it. You have to freaking silence it.
These hoes going crazy, yeah.
And you can keep adding some more stuff like that. So for example, there's more like that. I like to use this one too. Like usually I use 2 or 3, or maybe sometimes 4, but mostly 3 or 2. This one I never really used, honestly. Maybe that one I used once in like a One Direction edit about like the commercial. These are absolutely lifesavers. So these are basically, let me just pop an example of how I use this one because I don't know how to explain it. So as you can see, I basically used it throughout the whole thing because it went with the beat with the audio. You can use it as well, but if you're gonna add something like this, and especially if you're just gonna add it for like the whole entire video, I would add the effect after you're done doing anything you want to do with that, because you don't want to keep going back to each clip and adding that effect because it'll just take forever. So once you're done with your whole edit, you would add this if you wanted to. The zoom music, this one also, I would mostly use it in like certain parts, like for example, in this audio. My camera stopped recording. Okay. It basically looked more dramatic. Yeah, a lot of these will make them look more dramatic. A lot of these are really good. I never really used this one that much. Did I use this one? No, I didn't. I used Zoom, and I used both float music, Zoom music, and music distort. And then I never really used those. I think maybe I used this one once. I don't really like these as much. but I guess they're pretty cool. But yeah, you can really use a lot of things here. So yeah, okay, so moving on. Oh yeah, forgot about this one. This one will make it look more like, I don't know how to explain it. Makes it look like a little echo when they're moving. Like for example, like in this, obviously in this edit they're dancing. It would make it look more, there's like echoes of their body. I don't know how to describe it. The blinking I already explained. There's like a flashbulb one, but it's not as repetitive as this one. I use a lot of the fade in and fade out stuff in black and white, and a lot of like my dramatic edits, like the beginning or the ends of one, so you can add the end or the beginning of your edit. And I think back here, don't remember, but I made an edit a while ago, and I'll insert it now. And I used that little cutout of that recording thing, and it was from here, but I don't remember what section it was. Was it here? Oh yeah, it's right here. You guys are probably screaming at me. Okay, so that's the little thing that I use, a little recording screen. Now with text, a lot of people have questions about this. Okay, so I don't like these at all. They're okay. They're not really worth it, honestly. I wouldn't pay for them. So what I would do, I was speaking weird. I would go to new. No wait, yeah. I think it was my friend taught me this, so kudos to you, because I needed help with editing like little titles, lyrics, because you know obviously in audios they have words in it, and I wanted to actually write the lyrics on the edit. So she taught me a cool thing. So you'll go to, what was it? Multi-layer clip. You click on this, and then for example here you would choose text, because obviously you want to add, what does the audio say? I'm gonna say crazy. You can edit it however you want. If you click on the little T at the left, and you get to choose font, the style, the shadow, play with it, have fun with it. I would mostly just do black. Yeah. And then the font I'll probably use, because I use this a lot, I'll probably use this one or Futura, because those are my favorite ones. But I'll just use this one for now. So you click done, you click on next, right? Then you'll go next. I don't really use these that much. You get to like shape them and stuff. That's too much. If you want, you can try, but it's too much. Okay, so this is where it gets complicated. So you're gonna click one at the top of the left, and you get to basically play with this text. So let's say I want to slide it in from the top. Let's do the top. So let's do that. I totally forgot how to do this, so bear with me. Where'd it go? It's right here. Okay. I got this. I can do this. Okay, let me just, so that's that. And then let's say I want to move it over. This is the problem. I could never figure out. So it took me forever to do this. So since the audio says crazy at like the middle-ish, you would have to cut this clip to where it says crazy at the exact time so you can get the crazy to come out. But I'm just going to do this just for an example. Harry, it's a plane. Calm down. Anyways, right now I'm gonna drag the little circle to like, let's say here, and then where Lauren and Normani are, and then you're gonna drag this out. You see those little dots coming out? You can drag it to up here, down here, wherever you freaking want. So let's say I'm gonna put this in like the middle, and you kind of try to estimate where the middle is. And the little things at the bottom with the pink squares and the stuff like that, is basically for you to turn it however you want. Usually you would do that for the first clip. So for example, let me just show you this. So look how it slides in. Or for this one, you could do like, let's say I wanted to flip it upside down, but for this one, I want to flip it back up, right? Put that back to 0, and then look at it again. So see how it flips? You can do a lot of things with this. If you want to make it go faster, you would make this second like line down here closer to the first line, so it goes instead of going all the way over here, if that makes sense. The opacity means how transparent you want it to be, and the size is the size, pretty self-explanatory. And then when you're done, you click back, and then you click create, and then click yes, and then you just add it to iMovie. And then you just add it to iMovie to wherever you want, and you'll be set. I hope this helped somewhat or a lot. I don't know. I guess that's it. I mean, I hope I answered your questions if you had any. I hope this helped. But since I edit on Final Cut Pro now, if you didn't know, I have been learning a lot of new things, and I figured out a lot of tricks that could help beginners in Final Cut Pro too. So if you want to know more about that, like maybe you'll watch me edit on Final Cut Pro, or maybe some little tutorials on Final Cut Pro, which you'll probably end up doing on my second channel, which is my editing channel. So obviously I'll do it over there. But comment below if you want me to do that, and let me know. And if you have any more, I burped in my mouth. I guess this is everything I can really explain. The rest of it, you guys can really just play with it. It really just, it depends on your style of editing. Everybody edits differently. But I guess for part 3 of this mini series that I'm doing, I just answer all of you guys' questions and fill in any confusing parts of this video. But yeah, I guess the next part will be the last one, so just letting you guys know. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Give this video a huge thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. I'm struggling. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I guess that's it. I'll see you guys next week with another video. I can't breathe. Bye.